Hello Virgo, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of January 8th through 14th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now we're going to take a look into your general energies. What is it that you need to know? What is the major kind of situation that you're going through right now? What is the big event in your life? What is it that wants to come through? What is the energy? What is the message for you for this week? Six of Discs. All right, I think this is going to be a lot of success and a lot of harmony this week, okay? I think this is what we've been waiting for. Let's lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. Ooh, these are not what I expected. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to leave that right there. We're not going to look at it till the very end of the reading. So stick around to see how that card might tie everything together, give us the confirmation, or just kind of be that missing piece that we need, right? So let's see. We've got some water, water, fire, water. We've got some air, 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 earth, and earth. Okay. So we've got a fair balance, I think, of cards here. Maybe we're missing a little bit of the fire, I'd say. We do have some, but it's not really what I'd be expecting. So I think that there is, there's a pretty good rhythm and a pretty good routine going on right now. Okay? I think that is something to be thankful for. Let me say that from the beginning. Despite what the rest of these cards say, things are in a good flow right now. Okay? Things are successful, things are working. There are no major conflicts. It's just a nice rhythm, right? And I think that the world around you is kind of matching the vibe that you're putting out there, which I think is one of just getting stuff done, being productive, being cheerful and enjoying yourself, but nothing too crazy. There are no major events. There are no major there's no major fire energy. It seems like there's really no major inspiration right now. There's no passion. There's no real excitement. But it's a good rhythm nonetheless. Okay? It's very productive. I think there's a lot going on in your life. I think that we are kind of running the risk of this Nine of Swords. And I think that this is this mental energy that could kind of ruin the good thing that you've got going right now. I think this is a tendency to go back to the fighting, going back to the negative thoughts, the self-doubt, the criticism, the kind of the darkest thoughts that you tend to have, right? And these are typically aimed at yourself, these Nine Swords, right? And they're dipped in that poison, right? Because the more that we expose ourselves to this kind of thinking, this negative self-talk, the self-doubt, self-criticism, the more we are just injuring ourselves. And then these swords, of course, start to be pointed outwards. They really go in both directions, right? They're pointed at both ends, essentially. But the more that we kind of attack ourselves, the deeper we sink into this tendency or this habit, and then we start to express that. It starts to kind of spill out of us into our other relationships, okay? So I kind of see that there is this possibility that this is going to interrupt this really wonderful harmony and flow that we've got this week. Okay, this is a really good rhythm. This is like, your efforts are being matched. It feels like the universe is resonating with you and everything seems to be working pretty well. Like I said, there is not a lot of the fire energy, so there doesn't seem to be a lot of passion or inspiration or excitement going on right now. But hey, that's okay, right? Because sometimes it's good to be in this rhythm. It's good to just enjoy the flow. But there is this kind of mental, borderline emotional tendency that might threaten this harmony, right? These Nine Swords might be trying to attack this Six of Pentacles, this harmony, this flow, this kind of material rhythm that we have, okay? It's almost a situation where when things are too routine, things seem like they're flowing in a very harmonious way. It's that impulse that we have, and I think we all have it to some degree, of wanting to kind of put a wrench in the spokes, or you know what I mean? We want to kind of upset this balance. Just, it's some kind of weird morbid tendency that I really do think we all kind of have that. I mean, you see it in children, right? When they see something that's just, it's working just in such harmony and rhythm, they just want to see what happens if I put a stick in there, and you know, it kind of upsets the whole thing, maybe breaks it down and causes a problem and whatever. I think it's something that we all tend to do. I think we all have that impulse to some degree. Okay. But I'm no expert, I'm no psychologist. I see in the recent past, though, there is this tendency to, and this could be really influencing things this week too. There's this tendency to live in this memory, or to reimagine, to re-experience, to run through these scenarios of past trauma, past negative events, past arguments, past pain or heartbreak or disappointments. Okay. And I think that this really is the fuel that's going to really charge up these 9 swords. We're going from the 3 here, right? Which is still just you kind of stewing about the past, reliving these kind of negative experiences. But that's going to really multiply into this. 3, 6, 9, right? So there is that possibility, because it's happened before. It's something I think that you're aware of. It's something that you understand this about yourself, right? It's not anything new. So it really, I think, is a matter of keeping this 3 from becoming that 9. All right. I really wish we had a 6 of swords here somewhere. We don't see that now. Maybe that mystery card will be the 6. It's kind of the missing link, or it's going to be like the check or the roadblock for this 3 energy to keep it from manifesting as that 9 of swords, right? That's the kind of that's the stick in the spokes of this 6 of discs wheel. Okay, and we don't want that to enter into this, because this is going to be. That's going to be a disaster. That's going to be kind of the breaking down of this harmonious system that's just, it's working right now. So again, the 3 of swords, there is that tendency to relive these past events. It's kind of, you're remembering them. And I think each time we go through these scenarios and we remember these things in that kind of full, vivid way that we get with the 3, it's almost re-traumatizing ourselves. We feel like it's happening to us again right now. You know, we get the physical innervations, we feel the emotion of it. We feel it in our soul again, like it's happening now, even though it's just a remembering. It's like we're reliving that experience. Okay, and that's where we can turn into this 9 of swords, these poison-tipped daggers that really are pointed at both ends. It's not just, you're not just injuring yourself with this. It's going to extend out to the other people in your life, the other areas of your life. What we see in the immediate future is this Princess of Swords. Now, this princess is kind of battling these negative thoughts. Okay, I mean, just looking at the image, excuse me, too much incense. Looking at this image, she's kind of battling these thoughts. She's just doing the mental work. It's not gender specific. The figure in the card is defending themselves against these kinds of negative thoughts, trying to fight them off, trying to just, say, okay, I see you there, but I'm not going to indulge in that. I'm going to move on. I'm going to let those go, and I'm going to move on. It's just kind of, it's using that sword to kind of, to cut them down, to not give them any power. These memories, these thoughts, these habits of thinking, And then this is also your reaching out to communicate these things with someone else, with your person, with whoever you can confide in, just to express what's going on so that it's not just something you're dealing with alone. Because, if you looked at these cards, we see this wonderful 6 of discs, this harmony, things are flowing, and we see all these swords that are just kind of like coming right across that. And it's just, they're trying to wipe out that 6. It's like that sabotage kind of thing. It's like the 6 is there, it's harmonious, it's rhythmic, and all these swords are just kind of coming to attack it. They just want to wipe that 6 of discs out. Okay. But I think that you can strive and struggle against that. I think you'll be successful in keeping this at bay. And again, that's through your own mental energy, saying, okay, I'm aware of this, but I'm going to choose not to indulge in that. I'm going to choose something else. I'm going to communicate all of this to my partner, my person, my confidant, whoever it is that you can talk to express it in an outward way. So it's not just all internal. And that's the energy that we get with the Princess of Swords here. Down beneath everything, underneath it all, we see this 3 of discs. This is the inner component of this 6 of discs, right? So it's the 3 internally that is kind of your half of this equation, your half of that 6 of pentacles, as they're called too. So I think that you really have this strong sense of like, you're ready to work hard. You know, you've really got this ambition in you. It is like your own kind of standard, your own work ethic, your own there's just, you know, internally, your soul deep down, you're ready to get to work. You're ready to just work hard and create the success. And the more you do that, the more we get that 6 of discs, the more the outer world kind of resonates and harmonizes with you. So the more you put into this, the more commitment, the more hard work, the more, you know, of your energy, right? Blood, sweat, and tears with that 3 of pentacles. This is commitment and devotion on the physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual planes, right? This is giving 110%. And the more you put in, the more the universe is going to give back to you. The more the people around you are going to contribute. It's going to really be that resonance, okay? And the more you vibrate at a certain frequency, the more the universe is going to do the same. Now, if we keep that with the 6 of discs, I think things are going to be great. But if we start to change our frequency to all of these swords frequencies, then I think that's when we get into trouble. And I think the world around us will start harmonizing at that frequency. And I don't think we want that. Okay, because then we are in this 9 of Swords situation. And I don't think that's going to be good for anyone. Up above it all, we see this devil energy. This is the magical goat. I think this is a really important symbol for you. I think this is kind of, it's a few different things. It's your endurance, your hard work, your ambition to really succeed at what you do. But this is also kind of a tendency to do it alone, because the goat is like a solitary animal, right? It likes to climb in these kind of precarious, dangerous situations. And as long as it's doing it by itself, it really is fine. You know, when it gets into a large group, that's when people start to slip and things start to kind of stumble, and there's just like conflict. You know, there's just too many people in the room, and we're just bumping into everyone. But I think that this is really your ideal. This is kind of what you're looking to, or this is what you're aspiring toward, or it's kind of just like a fantasy ideal almost, that you would just be this kind of solitary goat, just doing things on your own, creating as you wish, as the spirit moves you. You know, and I think that is a good aspiration to have. I think that it is a way to kind of rise above all of this swords, all of this conflict energy. You know, even though you are in, let's say, a household full of people, or if this is in the workplace that this kind of energy is taking place, you know, you're in a crowded room, but you still have this kind of solitary, you know, Capricorn, devil, goat energy about you. You know, and maybe it sounds silly, but the Capricorn, this devil card, really, it's not an evil card. Like, everybody sees the devil card, they think of, you know, the Christian devil, you know. But it is a card that is intensely powerful. There's an intense creative energy about it. And yes, it's solitary, and it may be misunderstood. It may be a little dark and mysterious, but it is intensely creative. And I think that really is part of your nature and what you aspire to. And I think that's terrific, because it's above the path of the dove here. It's rising above all of this conflict, all of this swords energy, all of this air that we see here. The goat has climbed above that. And I think that's a good symbol. That's kind of a good metaphor for what your week's going to be like. Okay, and again, this could be happening in your workplace, in your professional situation, could be happening in your home. I don't think it really matters. I think it's wherever you are doing work and you are experiencing now this cooperation with people. With this Six of Pentacles, it's really been a rhythmic time. There's a lot of cooperation going on. And we just have to get above all of this air energy, you know. We're going to move over to the path of the Serpent now. If this path of the Dove was all about the air, path of the Serpent is really all about the water. Okay. I see that you've been on this search for meaning. This is your general energy. This is an Eight of Cups. This is kind of losing a little bit of heart. This is losing a little bit of interest, losing a little bit of care, really, right? This is like, you know, you were filled up with all of this water, right? At one point, all of these cups were filled. And now they're just kind of half filled. You've emptied a few of them out. And I think this is kind of you in some ways tempering your expectations. I think this is you, maybe you've cut your standards or your expectations a little bit. You know, maybe you are tempering what you are hoping to get out of certain things. You know, maybe you did expect all of the cups to be filled, but now you're just, okay, I'll be happy if just half of them are filled, right? So it's kind of, it feels like a lowering of your expectations. It feels like you, not that you're settling for less, but you are trying to find the satisfaction with the connection and the meaning that you have, rather than kind of lamenting the connection that you don't have, or the intensity of the connection that you don't have. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to be okay with less. That's the vibe that I'm getting. So it does feel like your cups are a little bit emptier, but you're trying to just get by on that lower amount of this water energy, this satisfaction, this sense of meaning, purpose, perhaps. But again, we see a lack of the fire energy for the most part. The next card we have is some fire, but I'm not sure who that is yet. So there's this lack of inspiration. It's almost like just you're acquiescing, you're submitting, surrendering. You're trying to just be okay with the situation, you know. But with the Eight of Cups, that water is still kind of, the cups are kind of chipped and broken and cracked. The water's still draining out. Eventually there won't be enough. Okay, I see that maybe you're trying to put some tape, some duct tape or some bubble gum on these cups so that you don't lose all the water, but it's still leaking out. So eventually that's not going to work, you know. And there's only so long that we can maintain this position, because eventually that water is going to be gone, right? And right now there's no, I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, but there's no fiery energy that's going to renew that water. Okay, there's no inspiration, there's no passion, there's no real like ambition or motivation on a spiritual level. There's no vitality here. There's no heat or intensity that's going to fill these cups back up. But what we see next is in the position of your relationships, and this is a Queen of Wands. I wonder if this is a fire sign person in your life somewhere. Could be a feminine energy, could be someone a little bit older than you. I don't know if this is a coworker or someone in your personal life, a close friend, family member, maybe this is your person. Romantic or otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter, but I think that they're a large factor here. They might be just someone that maybe someone that you don't know, but like a historical figure, or just like one of your idols, someone that does inspire you. This could be your ideal self. Okay. This could be the relationship with whatever it is that does inspire you. Whether this is a person, whether this represents some kind of an idea or ideal. Again, like it could be that person that you idolize, right? It could be your highest self, your highest projection of your just most fulfilled self, right? Your true self. But whoever this is, I think this is the connection that you have to reestablish in order to get this fire energy back in your life, to refill these cups, and to get this inspiration, to get this intensity back. Okay? There's this connection that's lacking right now. And I think this is the source of the fire energy that we need, because there's no other fire in the spread, in the reading. Maybe the mystery card will be some fire. I don't know. It's possible. I don't feel like it is, but maybe. So this is the connection that needs to be reestablished. And I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure who this is, if it's literally another person in your life. Maybe your person, romantic partner, maybe a coworker, maybe a friend, someone that inspires you, a historical figure. Could be your highest, truest self. It could be a deity, an entity, a spirit, an intelligence. But it's that intelligence of some kind that you need to connect with to get that fire, to get that inspiration again. Okay, could be your inner self, could be your guardian angel, could be deity. But it is an older, wiser, more mature, knowledgeable, someone that is wise, right? Someone that can teach you or guide you. I almost wonder if this is going to be a high priestess situation with that mystery card, or the star card even, or maybe the hermit. Maybe your true Virgo nature is going to come out in that hermit card. But let's keep going. Let's move on now. Interestingly, we have more cups, like I said here, right? This is in the concern position, right? This is kind of your concern card, 10 of Cups. So while you've kind of acquiesced to this situation where you're settling for less, kind of, emotionally, in terms of your meaning and purpose, your fulfillment, satisfaction, trying to settle for less, right? But this is still leaking out. You don't want to drain it. On the other hand, you're afraid of being overly happy, overly satisfied, of having too much meaning and purpose and fulfillment. I think you like there to be a little bit of struggle. Okay? I think if you're too happy, it's no good. If you're too sad, it's no good. You need to be somewhere in the middle of it all, where there is still something to strive for. You don't want things to be too good. You don't want to be too full, right? Because when we eat too much, right? When we fill all 10 of our cups, we feel miserable, right? We don't want to look at food again. That doesn't last long, because the water does drain out. But if it drains too far, then it's almost like there's no pulling ourselves back out. Then we really are lacking the connection with this fire energy that's going to fill those cups up. I know that sounds counterintuitive. So I feel like there is this tendency in you to want the struggle. You want there to be something to strive for. I wonder if this is going to be the 9 of Cups. But this is the fear. You're kind of afraid, your concern is being just too damn happy. Too happy that either the only way to go now is flip it to the other side, right? When something gets to its extreme, it tends to become its opposite. So if you get too happy, the only way to go is down, right? So that's a concern. And then we also have this as your general energy, settling for less of this water energy. But that's a concern too, because this is still leaking. This water's still draining out of here. So what exactly do we do? The final card on the Path of the Serpent is this 5 of Cups. This is like that space in between the two extremes, right? This is really activity and struggle, and I think it is really kind of the match for this card. This connection with whoever this person is, this fiery energy. Connecting with it to create some kind of movement in your emotions. Not the same kind of movement that we saw on the Path of the Dove with all that air energy, right? That's a different deal. But why that air energy is here, I think, is because of this water energy that we have on this side. Okay? So connecting with this fire spirit, this energy, this, intelligence, this person, whatever this is, this idea or ideal, or idol, this is what's going to create more movement in your emotional body, more of this search for meaning, more of this establishment of connections. We don't want the 4 of Cups either, because the 4 of Cups is really going from this 8 to the 4, right? We're cutting it in half, so it's all math, right? So if we had a Four of Cups, then we'd be stopping the leaks in this card. And that's good. I mean, that would be a good thing, right? That'd be a good thing. We'd stop the leaks. There'd be no more holes in the boat, as I say about the Four of Cups. And that would be good. That'd be progress. It'd be a nice kind of, okay, we're steady now. But we want to go beyond that, because I think the other side of that coin is being too happy, too fulfilled, having too much of a good thing, to be overwhelmed with all of this. And that's kind of, then things are just kind of overflowing. Then we're going to sink anyway. You know, maybe the holes in the boat are filling the boat up too fast and it's going to sink anyway. So we need to go beyond just patching the holes and staying afloat. Then we need to actually turn the motor on, get the prop spinning, and get traveling. Get some movement going in this area. And that's where the 5, right? After the 4 comes that 5 of Cups, where there's movement now. There's something coming in that's going to stir things up, and that's the fire energy. The fire energy is what is really churning these waters. Now, what could happen is that this fire and water mix and you create all of this air over here. Okay? And that, I think, is a big reason why we have this tendency to this air energy. Because too much of the fire and water create this steam, create this conflict, create this air, this animosity, the 3 and 9 of Swords. Okay, I hope this is making sense. It makes sense to me, but I don't know if I'm communicating it right. And there's that Swords energy. It's tripping me up a little bit too. Let's take a look at the confirmation card, though, because I want to see if that can maybe give us the final clue, the final piece of this puzzle. We're just going to look at it. We got that two of Wands. So this is, I was just exactly thinking about this before I turn this card over. With this fiery energy, there are kind of 2 ways to go with it. Okay? The first way, the positive way, is to get your emotions stirring. Find the inspiration to fill up your cups in the right way, to create some movement there, some new meaning, some new satisfaction, fulfillment, right? To get the waters churned up again in a good way. Get the boat moving. The other side, the other of this 2 of Wands, is that this fiery energy is going to mix with the water and create all of the steam and all of the air that we have over here. So it could backfire, you know what I mean? Connecting with this fire energy could be very good, get the boat moving. Yes, joy, happiness, deeper meanings. Or it could reignite kind of, or cause some of this air energy to re-emerge. And that's when we're going to upset this balance of the earth, that 6 of discs. Okay, so it kind of is with this 2, kind of is like having to be very careful which way this fire energy goes. Okay, because it's fire energy. It could either help or hinder. You know, it can either warm and heat you up and protect you from snakes and the darkness, whatever, or it could burn you. It could burn your whole tent down, whatever. I like camping analogies. So that's why I think we're getting this confirmation for the 2 of Wands, because I was just thinking about this just before I turned that card over, that this fire energy really could be responsible for this air over here, or it could be responsible to really get this water going, right? And which one do we want, you know? So it really is a kind of, it's a delicate balance. It's a bit of a tightrope that you have to walk with this. But I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to find deeper meaning, deeper satisfaction. I think we can avoid some of this air, some of this Swords energy, and focus on getting these cups filled up a little bit more, getting the holes patched up and getting the boat moving. Okay? But not, you know, don't let it fill up too much, because this 10 of Cups is not ideal either. Okay? Because it can go to either extreme here, and either way the boat's going to sink. So we just have to patch the holes and get the boat moving. That's what we need. All right. we're going to take a look at this a little bit more in the extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link in the description box, become a member to the channel. It's not very expensive. It really goes a long way to support the channel and to kind of push us further in the algorithm. It's only, I think, $3 or $4.99 a month to get access to all of the extended readings. That, from what I know, that's a lot less than some of these other tarot channels charge for their extended readings. But I don't like to speak about other tarot channels because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is the only one. All right. So do that, and if you don't, that's fine too. I just appreciate you being here and watching, listening to me, and supporting the channel. Click the subscribe button. Click the thumbs up. You know, give us a like here. That'll really help us with the algorithm too. And I appreciate you all so much. This was your weekly tarot reading for January 8th through 14th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.